Hello, Caitlin again. I'm really excited to show you the legal parts of hiring that no one really talks about. And so when I worked for a juicery in California, I learned a lot about the HR requirements, the laws, and documents that must be in place in order to protect you and your business from being sued for discrimination, for uh, and for prejudice, anything that an employee can use against you in the future if they're disgruntled. Having key tools in place that come with HR will protect your business. And you have to look at the responsibilities as a business owner that also come with hiring teammates. And that is understanding the legal situation that you are putting yourself in. What are you legally responsible for? What threats are there? What ways can you be liable? And once you know these things, you can really set yourself up to protect yourself. So it may sound scary, but it's not really anything to worry about as long as you have the proper procedures in place. So that's why I am super, super stuck on doing things a certain way and having certain documents in place so that should you have a worst case scenario of being sued or being falsely accused of something, you have the evidence via the procedures that you use during hiring and after hiring, during onboarding and training to protect you. So this is just real world stuff. When you're a business owner, you have to think of these things. So if you're not, don't worry, I'm thinking of them for you. And here's the first document that you need to be aware of. So Payscale sheets. Have you heard of a Payscale sheet? Let me show you what you may think is a legal Payscale sheet, and I'm going to show you why it's not. A Payscale sheet is essentially a chart showing the tiered pay wages, okay, the advances. And look, so my last client, they gave me this. And I had to tell them this is not legal. And I sent an article backing up why this is not legal. I'll post that with this video too. But look, so what do they give? They say, oh, after this amount of time, you get this much money and you are holding this position. So here's the thing. When you're a CEO, when you're a business owner, you literally have to have evidence and data to prove every decision you make. That especially comes true with hiring and paying people and promotions. So there has to be a process that shows the business went through this process and like a formula almost that shows that this person's going to get this amount of money, that is legal, it's fair pay, it's relatable to the cost of living, right? So this is something really important to pay attention to. So let me show you what I created to correct this to make it a legal Payscale sheet. This is a Payscale valuation system. So immediately you see that there is literal justification as to the dollar amounts that people are being paid. There's a specific formula that is followed. It's not discrimination. It even factored in the cost of living and set a formula to guide the human resources in hiring someone or and what someone should be paid, okay? And so this also ties back into the business model. So there's a point system, and the point system prevents discrimination. The point system allows for fair pay. And so specific point system based on the criteria that made sense for this particular organization to focus on. And it also took into consideration the socio-economical environment of California. So this is super important to consider your employees, their living situations, what factors do they have for disadvantages? Are they a higher risk population for certain things, whether it's homelessness or food insecurity, things like that. it's really important to consider this in the incentives you provide your employees and the pay you provide your employees, because that's, again, going to incentivize people to stay, and you're taking care of your employees. It's super important to take care of your employees if you want them to take care of you. So the systems I set up for people, this Payscale valuation, now it's literally database evidence that they go to this pay valuation, they look at their zip code. If there's a zip code that is like more affluent, and this person and the cost of living doesn't exceeds the allotted budget within the formula, meaning if the cost of living, if the formula for the employee's pay includes a higher payment because their zip code is more affluent, then this will disqualify the candidate if it's outside the business's budget. So right there, you see, so you can keep costs down by setting standards and precedents for your business that can be proven. You have to prove the precedent, prove the standards, and this may sound a little tricky right now, but it's actually really easy. So these are things that I come in and support you with. And of course, this would prepare you for an HR team. You'd come, and the goal would be to hire a lawyer or an HR professional to review everything we set up to make sure it complies. If it needs edits, it can be edited easily, no problem. And there's tons of programs now out there where you can pay for a lawyer monthly, for example, at a very low rate, and they'll review documents and they can give feedback. So these are all things I help you with in making sure you're set up legally now and to protect you. Okay, and let's look at another tool in the onboarding process, which would be the trainings. I'll see you in the next